Anthony Slater here with Darnell Mayberry in the Entrust Bank Arena. I had to look on the floor right there in Wichita, Kansas, for the Thunder post-game report. Thunder go down pretty big tonight, 109-90 to the Toronto Raptors. But I mean, there were some positives. The biggest one to take away is Serge Ibaka's back. He's been out the entire preseason with must have been a pretty good ankle sprain for him to miss 3-4 games now. Was back. He was icing his foot in the locker room post game, but he missed some shots, but he looked healthy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first plays of the game, Steven Adams gets a nice bounce pass to a cutting Serge Ibaka, lays it in. I think you're starting to see some teamwork between those two already, and it's their first time playing this year together. Got some experience last year in the postseason especially, but I just think they're going to be a nice tandem inside together. Steven Adams, Serge Ibaka working off each other, rebounding, running the floor. I think they could have a nice little interior duo with those two guys this year.
With Ibaka back, we got a first look at what could potentially be a starting lineup Scott Brooks could use. I think it's the one that he may, he's not going to tell us this, but I think it's the one he's kind of leaning towards. You got Westbrook, Robertson at the 1-2, and then Ibaka, Adams at the 4-5, and everyone's question is who's the 3 with Durant out. Tonight it was Anthony Morrow. First time he's got to start with the Thunder. He's been great all preseason, super efficient. I think he's made 11 of his 23s. I think 68 points on 40 shots, something like that. Tonight he was great, 6 of 12 shooting. What'd you think?
No, I mean, you can really just see how he's going to help this team. He's a tremendous shooter from anywhere on the court, really. And he's even pretty good at a 1-2 dribble pull-up, getting to the elbow, the free throw line extended, doing some things from that area. So I think the more he gets comfortable with his teammates, knowing when he's going to get his shots, where he's going to get his shots on the floor, I think he's going to be even better as a shooter for this team. Really a skill that they've needed for quite some time. They've never had a shooter like Anthony Morrow, so I think he's going to have a really good season.
What do you think of him in that starting lineup? Do you think that's where it's going?
Yes, and I think it's almost by default. Jeremy Lamb didn't have a very good game. He hadn't had a very good preseason, with the exception of the bounce-back game. I think it was Dallas. He played a pretty good game after going 1-14 in the opener at Denver. But Perry Jones, he's kind of erratic with his play a lot. So, I think Anthony Morrow would give them something that those other two guys just haven't given them. I mean, Jeremy Lamb is shooting like 14% from 3. I think he's 4 of 28 from 3 this preseason. You just mentioned Anthony Morrow's numbers. It's just a big difference between those two as shooters. And if you're going to put a shooter out there, obviously you want to go with Anthony Morrow.
You mentioned Lamb. His struggles really did continue tonight. Goes 1 of 9 shooting, 6 fouls out in only I think 21 or so minutes.
18
minutes.
Yeah.
3 turnovers. And really, the worst part of his whole game we haven't even mentioned was probably his defense. I mean, he was getting torched by Terrence Ross. Jordan Hamilton got him a few times. Bad night and really a bad preseason from him so far. Are you starting to get concerned about his role moving forward with this team?
I think it's early for that. I'm concerned about his shooting struggles. I mean, 4 of 28 in the preseason. When these games don't count, that's a little concerning. He struggled shooting the ball in Summer League. He struggled in the second half of the season last year. So this is not something new. This is a prolonged slump, if you will. So he's got to figure out how to be able to put the ball in the basket from long range. That's what he's supposed to do best. But the reason I'm not concerned is because when Kevin Durant gets back on the floor, that's going to open up things for everyone. He's going to have wide open shots that he's kind of rushing now are going to be wide open when Kevin Durant comes back. So I think we're going to have to give Jeremy some time to really figure this thing out, get his confidence and rhythm going, and then benefit from other players, better players being on the floor with him.
Silver lining, he did struggle pretty bad in the preseason last year, then had a good first half. So, the Thunder can only hope they get the same this year. But that'll do it for us here in Wichita. For the best Thunder coverage team anywhere, stay tuned to newsok.com and every day in Oklahoma.